If you're at the beginning of your fat loss journey, ignore all the complicated stuff. I lost 50 kilograms over the course of about 2 or 3 years, and I learned a significant amount of lessons from that. Today, I'm going to run you through exactly what I learned and what I wish I knew when I initially was going to lose the weight. When I wanted to lose the weight initially, I felt so motivated. I thought, I'm going to lose this weight and I'm going to push for it. The issue with motivation is that motivation can go. You can wake up one morning and think, I'm not motivated today. So relying on it can't be done. What's important is sustainability and consistency. Stick to what you can do on a daily basis and you know you can move forward with. What you'll find is that if you can't stick to your daily goals and rely purely on that motivation, you'll quickly fall off and return to old habits. Yet if you can pick up something that you can stick to on a daily basis, you will very much make significant weight loss. Another important point is calories in, calories out. People will tell you exactly what you need to eat and exactly what you need to do. But at the end of the day, as long as you're eating less calories than you're taking in, you will make progress. Yes, I appreciate that different foods have different thermic effects and will interact with your body in different ways. Obviously, I'm not suggesting you lose weight by eating 10 donuts a day and go to the gym and burn off enough calories to make that work. Having said that, when I lost all the weight, I don't think I was eating the healthiest. I also don't think I got the results that I wanted in terms of the way I looked at the end of it, but I did lose the weight. My side note to this would be to try and eat as much protein as possible. Although at the end of the day, my calories in, calories out was on point, I do wish I'd used those calories slightly better with what I ate. But my point is, don't obsess over exactly what you're eating if you want to lose all the weight. My next one would be walk more. I found that walking was the easiest way to find those extra calories to lose that weight. I'd say aim for at least 10,000 steps a day. I found that my walk back up to my university and back down to my accommodation got in lots of these steps. This walking burnt a lot of calories. With the weight that I was carrying, the amount of effort that it took, I could tell that it was making a significant impact on me. I also think alongside this, don't fear the gym. I was a bit concerned about going to the gym. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really know what to do in there or what I was going for. All I saw is that I was chasing the lowest possible number on the scale. I wasn't thinking about the long-term goals. Going back, I wish I had gone into the gym a lot more than I did. At best, I went for a couple of sessions with my friends just to see what it was like, and I never really went back. This was of course until I'd lost all the weight and realised that I'd lost all my muscle as well. Chasing that lowest number meant that I completely ignored that side of things. I didn't eat enough protein, I didn't go to the gym, and I didn't build something that I'd actually be proud of in the long run. My next point I think is quite an important one. It's one I didn't do at all. I didn't really take any progress pictures at the start. I took them later on once I'd lost all the weight, but I didn't take them initially with what I started as. I don't think I have a single topless picture of me with all the weight because I was too embarrassed to take a picture of myself. I think this was a lack of confidence that I'd actually lose the weight, but also just not really thinking into it that much. But I wish I had to be proud of how far I've come. I wore larger clothes to hide the fat, and that means that I can't make a real assessment of exactly what I looked like back then. I think another important point is don't let one bad day ruin all your progress. I often find if you have a day where you overeat, you think, well, what's the point? Don't let that happen. Another way to caveat that is also, if you have a day where you overeat by 500 calories, don't try the next day to drop your calories by an extra 500 to make up for it. One day isn't going to make too much of a difference, and if you go under by that much the next day, you might push yourself out the cycle completely. Just focus on long-term consistency, and that leads me to my next point, patience. You need to be patient with this process. You need to understand that it's going to take a long time and it's not going to be done overnight. To lose all the weight, it took me about 2 or 3 years to do. And then to rebuild myself to where I am today, it's taken another 4 or so years. To build that muscle has taken time and effort. And that's why I wish that I'd put it in at the same time as when I was losing all the weight, because then I could have built myself a base level amount of muscle. And that's something that I wish I knew at the time. I do think you always need to compare yourself to yesterday. I look back at pictures of me previously and I'm amazed by the progress that I've made. I'm amazed by the lessons that I've learned, and that's what you always need to do along the way. While I look at myself today and I know that I don't have that incredible social media-esque physique and I don't look like the most amazing person in the world, I look back at where I've come from and I think, you know what, I've done a pretty good job there. I've made good progress, I've worked hard on myself, and I should be proud. And that's the way you need to look at it. Never ever compare yourself to others. You also need to realise that social media is a warped place. A lot of people that you see are going to have inflated physiques, they're going to be on God knows what, and realistically it's not the body standards that you should be chasing. Yes, it's good to have targets. Yes, it's good to have goals, goals. I have targets, I have goals, and I haven't achieved all of them yet. But it's a long-term gain and you need to be patient. And that leads me to my final point. Enjoy the journey. Losing that weight is hard work. It takes discipline, it takes consistency. But that's what you learn, discipline and consistency. All that weight I lost didn't just lead me to the end goal of, yeah, I've lost the weight. It actually brought me to new challenges and new goals, ways to use that discipline, ways to use that consistency. And that is what I've done today. I've gone to the gym for the past 3 or 4 years very, very consistently, and I've built a significant amount of muscle, which has allowed me to rebuild a significant amount of that weight, but in muscle. I'm still 30 kilograms below where I started, yet I look significantly better than when I lost the 50 kilograms to begin. Well, that's subjective, and you might not think that, but I personally do. Overall, I feel so much more confident. While I don't always feel that every single day, when I look back at myself, I remember how I felt back then. I remember genuinely being embarrassed with the way I looked. I remember genuinely thinking and going outside each day and thinking that people were looking at me for my weight. I didn't feel confident in terms of dating. I didn't feel confident in myself in terms of sport. But now I do. And while I still obviously have insecurities and I still obviously look at myself in a critical way, at the end of the day, I do appreciate how far I've come, and I do appreciate my new goals and targets that I am going to achieve. Use that consistency, use that discipline, and enjoy the journey, because you will learn so much from it.